Everyone, yesterday marked the beginning of the International Education Week, and as exchange student, we were supposed to give presentations about our home countries, and that's why I made this presentation about my home country, Libya. This is the flag. This is the program that I applied to come here, the YES program. This is my organization, ACES. It stands for American Cultural Exchange Service. They're responsible for my placement in Woodmore and the village of Elmore. And this is what we'll go through in this presentation. And to the right, you can see a map of Libya, the world map. It's right there in northern Africa. And this is what we'll go through. We're going to see some photos from Libya. We're going to talk about the location, the weather, demographics, etc. And in the end, you can ask me whatever you want about the presentation, about Libya, about me, about my stay in the United States. Also, feel free to interrupt me at any time and ask me whatever question you want. So, as you can see here, we see four photos from different places of Libya. Right here, we see the capital of Libya, Tripoli, the largest city. And right there, this is a picture of Benghazi, the city I was born in, second largest city in Libya. And right there in the corner, this is a picture of Sabratha. It's an ancient Roman city in northwestern Libya. Also, right here, this is a picture of Irene. It's an ancient Greek city in northeastern Libya. Actually, I've been there twice or three times before. Now, as you can see, we're going to talk about the location, and we're going to mention some quick facts about Libya. So Libya is located in North Africa. It's part of the Maghreb region. So, and the word Maghreb means west because Libya is located in the western part of the Arab world. So, alongside Mauritania, Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia, they all represent the Maghreb region. Also, in this picture, Libya is bordered by Egypt to the east, Tunisia and Algeria to the west, Niger, Chad, and Sudan to the south. Also, in the picture, right there, you can see that Tripoli, capital of Libya, has a population of almost 1 million people. Also, Benghazi, with a population of around 800,000 people. The third largest city is Misrata, with almost 400,000 people. Also, as you can see, Libya has the longest coastline among the African nations, with almost 1,100 miles of Mediterranean coastline. Also, Libya is the fourth largest country in Africa, the 16th in the world, almost 700,000 square miles. It's slightly larger than the state of Alaska. Also, another fact, Libya holds 48 billion barrels of oil reserves. That accounts for 20.9% of the world's total oil reserves. This is the 9th in the world, the first in Africa. Also, the name Libya comes from the Greek word meaning land of Aleppo. Aleppo was an ancient tribe that lived in the area. Last, we're going to, as you can see, Libya consists of three historical regions: Cyrenaica, where I'm from, Tripolitania, and Kazan. Now we're going to talk about the weather. So as you can see in the top picture, you see snow there, but actually the fact is that snow is really rare in Libya. Also, it just snows in some parts of the country. Even in those parts of the country, it just snows once every 5 or 3 years. Actually, I've never seen snow before. Just last Sunday wasn't the first time. Yep. Also, as you see in this picture, beaches get crowded, especially in major cities. Like Benghazi and Tripoli, because people start partying on the beach, because it gets really hot in the summer. And our summers are usually hot and dry, and our winters are cold and wet. So there's like, I made a mistake in dry, it's supposed to say wet. Also, in the Libyan desert, it gets really cold during the night and really, really hot during the day. So that's why most people usually live in the northern side, like on the coastline. So, but in the south, it's really hard to live in the south, so few people live there. There's not a lot of population density.
It's all desert in the south?
Most of it, actually, yeah, usually. Now we're going to talk about demographics and ethnic groups. And majority of Libyans call themselves Arabs. That's what I identify as. Also, there's a part of the Libyan population, they call themselves Amazigh. They are the natives. Also, they have a big influence on the Libyan culture. Also, we have the Tebo. They live in the green parts. They live in southern Libya, northern Chad, northern Sudan, and parts of Niger. Also, we have the Arab. They're kind of related to Amazigh, but they have their own language and they have their own cultural identity. They live in the purple parts. Now we're going to see the male-female ratio. So the male-female ratio for the whole population is 1.05 males per 1 female. And the highest ratio is in the age group 25 to 54 years. And the lowest is 65 to and older, of course, 0.86 male per 1 female. Even in Libya, females live longer. Now, as we can see, this is a very brief history timeline. We have the Greeks who stayed in the east from the time period from 631 BC to 74 BC. Also, we have the Phoenicians. Right there, it's supposed to say 143 BC. We have the Romans. We have the Islamic Caliphates. Also, we have the Ottomans. They're supposed to be part of the Islamic Caliphates, but they stayed longer, so I just decided to make their own category right there. Also, we have the Italians. We have the Italian colonization that stayed from 1911 to 1943. And actually, it got really worse during the 20s because this is when Mussolini became the ruler of Italy. And this is when we see a lot of concentration camps, especially in the east. Actually, my great-grandfather went to was in one of the concentration camps that was made by the Italians. Also, we have France and Great Britain during the World War II era. And lastly, we got our independence in 1951 after we started revolting against the Britons and the French. Now we're going to see some pictures on national sightseeing. This is the waterfall of Genoa. It's in northeastern Libya. Actually, I've been there once, and it's a really great place. If you want to go to Libya, you should really visit this place. I'm going to see some pictures from the sea. This is the Mediterranean. This is northeastern Libya too. And this is some pictures from the mountains. The top two are from the Green Mountain region, and the lower one is from Lac Rouge in the south. The other one is from the Huwei Mountain. It's in northwestern Libya. And actually, I know some people who were born in that region, the Huwei Mountain region. And some pictures from the desert. This is the Lake Gabraon, I think. Also, this is the Waounamous Lake. So it's actually this one it's a volcano that never erupted in centuries. So water started forming in the top of that volcano. It's a really great place, actually. but it's hard to get there because it's in the middle of the desert. Now we're gonna talk about some notable people. We have Ramadan, who was a resistance leader against the Italian colonization. He was executed in 1936 by the Italians after he got captured. And we have Sadiq Nahum, who was born in Benghazi in 1937. He was a really great Arab writer, and he was known all around the Arab world. And in the end of his life, he didn't actually live in Libya because he was against the dictator, and he wrote a lot of bad stuff about the dictator, so that's why he didn't really live there. And we have Muhammad Hassan. He's a famous Libyan musician. He's actually really famous among the older generations, but I like to listen to his music. He's got really some good songs. Now we have the traditional clothes. Actually, I was wearing a similar costume to that yesterday in school. Pretty sure Dalton saw it. He liked it.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you guys came in.
And so it consists of a long white shirt. It's called jalabiya or qamis. Depends on which part of the country. Also, it has long baggy pants or trousers. We call it sarwal. It has a vest, the red vest as you can see the guy is wearing. Also, it has a leather sandals, but I wasn't wearing that yesterday. Also, it has there's another thing. It's a large outer clock. The two guys at the top actually are wearing it. If you want to see it, right there. Next slide. Now we're going to talk about the traditional clothing for women. I actually don't know a lot about the traditional clothes for women, but what I know is that it has a lot of jewelry, a lot of gold. It's really expensive. And usually people rent it and not buy it because of its high price.
Can I ask a question about the women's clothing?
Yeah.
Is this very common these days?
Do you mean, do we wear it every day? No.
Or even sometimes during the season?
Oh yeah, it's usually
during
once or twice a
Ramadan
year.
or something?
Yeah,
Perhaps?
usually during the weddings or the holidays, this is when we wear it.
And do women wear burqas? Do you see very many?
Oh yeah, some people do, some women do actually. Yeah, it's not that common though, but you can see it in Libya. Yeah. Now we're gonna see some pictures of Libyan food, and the one at the top left is called rizq al-khalta. So it's rice mixed with a lot of nuts and meat. Also have the traditional macaroni. It's really good. So also you can notice that there's a lot of Italian influence on the Libyan cuisine. We have mafouda. We make it in the east. It's actually really good. One of my favorites. And some people eat it with eggs, even though I've never had it with eggs before. Also we have tagine. They really make it pretty good in the western side. The western side is known with it more than the eastern side.
What kind of spice is it spicy or is
It's really spicy. Usually it's really spicy. The macaroni and the tagine is usually eaten spicy.
And
Yeah.
do you generally eat more lamb?
Yeah, we eat more lamb than we eat beef and chicken. Yeah, and we also don't eat pork because of the religious restriction on pork. Now we're going to talk about the national and religious holidays. We have the month of Ramadan, so it's a holy month where all Muslims all around the world fast from down to sunset, and it comes this year. It comes during the months of April and May, and the reason for that is because it follows the lunar calendar, so it's different. And the reason we fast because it makes you feel empathy for people people in need or people who can't afford food. So it encourages you to give more. and we have Eid al-Fitr. It marks the end of Ramadan, and it literally means holiday of great fasting. And we have Eid al-Adha, and during this holiday, we buy sheep and slaughter them to give the family and give the poor people. So usually vegans don't like this holiday. Yeah.
Do you know a lot of vegans in Libya?
Not really. I've met some, but not really. Now we're gonna talk about the city of Irene. This place, I went to this place twice before, or just 3 times. I don't really remember. So it's the oldest Greek city in the whole of Africa, the first Greek colony. Also, it gave Eastern Libya the name Cyrenaica. It still holds that name to this day. And there's an interesting story about Cyrene that lies in a lush valley in the Green Mountain area. So, and the Greeks gave this valley as a gift to Apollo, their Greek god. And according to Greek tradition, Cyrene was founded in 631 BC. And the story about it that there was a guy, a king of Thera. He went to an oracle, and the oracle advised him to go to Libya to build a city there. And actually, years later, there was a drought in the island of Thera, and they actually went to Libya and built a city there. So that's the Greek tradition about it. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's usually more mythology than real events. Now we're going to talk about Huwei Mountains. So it's a volcano that never erupted, so water started forming above the volcano, and it made this wonderful scenery right here. It looks like I'm from another planet.
You say that's in the middle of the desert?
It's in the middle
So
of
it's
the
a
desert.
long drive to get there?
It's a very, very long drive. It has a lot of gas and a lot of water to get there.
Do people live there, or
No, not really.
is there any recreation there? Like, if people go there, is there things to do, or is
Or
it?
just hike, perhaps?
Yeah, some people do that, yeah, but it's really, you don't see a lot of tourists going there because it's in the middle of the desert. Also, there are not a lot of tourists during the last few years in Libya, so that's the reason. And also it was discovered in 1951, so people didn't know about it till last century.
It's kind of like a mirage.
Yeah. And now we're gonna talk about sports. So the most popular sport in Libya is soccer, and we have the big 4 right here, the most known clubs, and also in terms of fan base, these are the largest 4. We have Ahli Benghazi, Ahli Tripoli, Ittihad, and Nasr. My favorite team is Ahli Benghazi, the one to the left. I was supporting this team since I was really young. So it's like Ohio State in my city. Yep. So now I'm gonna answer some questions I got from an Instagram post. So actually, some student asked me about the difference between American high schools and Libyan high schools. And the thing is that the most different thing is the schedule. So you guys here go to school for 8 hours, 7 hours studying 8 classes. In my country, we go to school for 5 hours and study 6 classes. And every day we don't study the same subjects. It's really different. Also, another student asked me about my most favorite and least favorite parts. So I would say my most favorite part about my country is the food. Also the family and the traditions. I'm usually into our traditions, so that's why. So my least favorite parts, I wouldn't say that I have any least favorite parts, but it's the thing that we got out of a civil war last year, so but it's getting better now. We're having elections and the country was a little bigger for the first time. after 70 years of independence. Yeah, there's progress. It's done.
It's slow.
Yeah, really slow, but yeah, there is. Any questions? Any extra
What's
questions?
your favorite part then, for the American and least favorite part of high school?
Of high school?
Yeah.
Actually, high school in America is really fun. So you guys have a lot of activities going on. You have homecoming, winter royalty, prom, and also a lot of clubs. That's usually not it's not available in Libya for the most of the time. So that's my favorite time about it. Is that there's a lot of activities, a lot of things to do.
Do you still play soccer?
No, actually the season ended a few weeks ago. Yeah, we went to the tournament, but
Did you play?
yep.
So you played here for
Yep.
Woodmore? Oh,
Yep.
good.
What do your parents do?
My father is an agricultural engineer, and my mom works for the government with the civil registry authority. So it's like the census in our country.
You speak very good English.
Thank
Have you
you.
had a lot of practice?
Yep. I learned English mostly from American TV shows and American movies. Yeah.
I say, what are libraries like in Libya?
Oh, libraries, they're really different. They're usually smaller.
Smaller?
Yeah, smaller in size, but and they're not this big, so they're usually just shelves and books, and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there like a lot of like computers and like stuff like that
Yeah.
in library? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's pretty similar.
Yeah. So
Did you focus on a lot of math and sciences?
back home, yeah. Yeah, but after I got this year, I didn't really take a lot of science and math. Just took algebra, that's it. Yeah. But back home, I really was really focused on math and science.
Good. That'll help you in college.
Is college free in Libya?
Yeah, it's free.
Okay.
Yeah. So my dad went to college for free. My mom did the same. Yeah, so it's not usually as expensive in here.
It's expensive here.
Yeah.
Is there a good college in Benghazi?
Yep. We have the University of Benghazi. Actually, it's the oldest university in Libya.
Oh, cool.
It's actually one of the best colleges in Libya.
So you're saying you're just now getting to free elections?
Yep.
Wow, that stinks.
Mhm.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Well, I know you had, how long was it a dictatorship?
40 years, since 69 till 2011.
Was that all Gaddafi and his family?
Yep, that's true. That's he stayed for a long time. But before that, we had a democratic monarchy, like the United Kingdom. So we had a king and a prime minister, but then Gaddafi came and he ruled the country for the rest of the time.
Do you practice the Islamic religion?
Yep, I'm a Muslim. Yep.
Did you fast for
Yeah.
Ramadan?
Yep. I started fasting since I was in 6th or 5th grade. But yeah, we usually practice it until you fast a part of the time until you master it. Yeah.
There was actually quite a few Muslim Islamic people in the Toledo area, especially up in
Yeah. Sure.
Detroit and
Yeah, that's true. I heard
that
that.
area.
I've met some actually.
Yeah, I work with a couple.
Yeah. Nice.
So it's always interesting when Ramadan comes, we always talk
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, that's true. So what do you do for?
I'm a civil engineer.
Oh, nice.
I work for the city of Toledo.
Cool.
And my immediate boss he's actually Palestinian.
Oh,
Most of the guys I work with are former Palestinians who come over
cool. Mhm.
and went to school here
Nice.
and they're engineers.
Yeah, nice. Actually, also surprisingly, I met a Libyan guy today. I don't usually find a lot of Libyans in the United States. Actually, there are around 3,000 Libyan Americans around here, the whole country. So I met one of them today. Actually, his father is Libyan and his mother is Palestinian. Yeah.
I don't imagine you met him in Elmore though.
Yeah, I didn't meet him in Elmore, I met him in Toledo, yeah. Yeah, usually you wouldn't find a Libyan and more, yep.
What do you think is the biggest difference between people your age in your country versus kids in this country?
Well, to be honest, actually, there's not that much of a difference. Yeah, teenagers usually are the same everywhere.
Are you guys obsessed with your cell phones and video games like
we are.
Americans?
Yeah, kids over in Libya, are pretty much the same.
So you play video games too?
I don't, actually, I'm not really a video games guy. I used to, but now I'm not really. Especially after I got here. Yeah.
So you probably miss the food.
I do miss the food. This is actually the first thing that I miss. And also the tea.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
the tea is much better. I miss Libyan tea. I would say tea in America, no offense, but it's a fake tea. Yeah, it's not real tea at all. Yeah.
Do you know how to cook?
Not really, but I'm trying to cook something for a teacher lunch on Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you getting anything from home?
Yep.
Like a care package or something?
Oh no, not really. But I'm cooking something from home, yeah.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
I do have 6 siblings back home. Yeah.
Have any of them travel as much as you?
No, I'm the oldest. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
What made you want to do this, be an exchange student?
Actually, I'm really into learning about new cultures. Also, I like to tell people about my country. So, also, I watch a lot of American movies. So, America always has been a mystery for me.
What's your favorite American movie?
My favorite American movie? I don't know if you know it or not, but Inception. Have you heard about it?
Inception.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
Christopher Nolan movie.
I think.
Oh yeah, those
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan movies are crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Were you given any warnings of coming to the United States?
Yeah, it's usually to not talk about controversial issues.
Politics.
Yeah. That's, yeah.
That
That's
goes
good
for
advice,
everybody.
yeah.
That goes for Americans as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, people just argue about dumb stuff.
But I broke this rule, not gonna lie.
It's inevitable.
Yeah. Any
You plan to
more
go to
questions?
college?
Yeah.
So you plan to go to college here in the States?
Yep, I'm planning to go to college in the United States.
Have you picked one yet, or you
Not
decided?
really, I'm still thinking about it.
Okay.
Are you said engineering, some type of engineering?
Yeah, software engineering, computer engineering.
We have a friend whose son is going to UT, University of Toledo, for software, and he's a senior, I think, and he's getting calls from potential employers as far as the West
Whoa,
Coast.
nice, nice.
So, a lot of opportunities if you do that kind of engineering. Any kind of engineering, you can find a job.
That's nice. Also, I heard that University of Toledo has a lot of good programs in this area. Yeah.
What's your most favorite parts of Ohio?
Ohio,
Yeah.
the weather. Yeah.
For most or least?
Yeah. That's the least favorite part.
Well, summers are beautiful.
Yeah, least favorite part of Ohio. But the most favorite part, Cedar Point. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
You know, you did come to the flattest part of Ohio.
Yeah, yeah, I heard that a lot. And I've been to Lake Erie once. Yeah, it's a really wonderful place.
Have you been to other states?
Oh, not really. Not really. So there's an interesting story though. On the first day, my host dad, his GPS I don't know, it messed up, and we got to Michigan. Yeah. That's really, so I've been to Michigan. Yeah.
Michigan's pretty close.
Yeah.
Michigan's a beautiful state, but their football team stinks.
Yeah, Wolverines.
Just as any Buckeye.
Yeah. One of the first things I heard about it was the Buckeyes Wolverines
Rivalry, yes. And you probably have that too for
Yeah.
your football team.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. It's actually my sister supports the team I hate the most. So there is.
Does she do
How'd that
it,
happen?
does she do it despite you, or?
No, since she was young, still to this day.
So you have two teams in Benghazi?
Yeah, two teams. Yep. We have Al-Ahli and Nasser, the team she supports.
So you wear your colors?
Yeah, our colors are actually red and white. Yep.
Are the rules any different here for high school soccer versus at home? Or is
Um,
soccer soccer?
Not really. It's actually the same. And soccer is actually over there is much more popular than American football.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're here for the entire year,
Yep.
and then you're gonna go home and then come back at some point.
Yeah. That's what I'm planning to do right now. So I think we got to an end here. If you want, there are cookies and water. And thank you everyone for coming and listening to me and asking me questions. I really enjoyed answering your questions. Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.